Question from Rafael in Portugal. How can there be millions of songs and only 12 notes? I don't get it. There are only 12 notes and there are millions of different songs. How can that be? Can you show us on the piano how to make an original song and still not copy people? It doesn't make sense to me. I think one of the cool things about music is exactly what you're talking about, is there are only 12 notes in Western music specifically, and there are seemingly limitless combinations. And I think, even just humor me for a moment, and I'm not going to do all the math here because we'd be here for a long time and I'd probably get it wrong. But just count with me for a moment this one thing. That's one combination. We've got a starting point. Here's another combination with the same starting point. So that's two combos. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there's your octave. That's 12 combos just from one starting point. But the first combo changes if I go, now that's a different combo. So you do the math. I can't do that math. That's so many combos, So, I think that there do seem to be limitless options. I think actually there probably aren't limitless options, but even if you take the same combination of notes and you play them in a different rhythm or a different tempo, that's going to totally change the feel of that combination of notes, right? So if I just do this combination, here's another combo. Here's another combo. If I can play it right. So just two notes, changing up the rhythm, changing if I'm playing them simultaneously or if I'm alternating, I really can't count that combination. Now, one of the bits of your question, can you show us on the piano how to make an original song and still not copy people? I do think, there are some things about music that it's nice when you hear something familiar, right? And I don't think that's necessarily copying. It's just a combination that is pleasant to the ear because it feels familiar. So something that you might hear a lot in folk music, for instance, you might have heard the term 1-4-5. What that means is in a scale, you're starting on the first note of that scale. Let's say we're in C. So C is 1. If you go to 4, that's the fourth in the scale. So that's 4, and here's 5. So you might have heard this chord combination before. And that's in a lot of blues. That's a combination that is very, I almost want to say it's generalized. Like, so many people know it. So many people have used that combination for a song, but it's not necessarily copying. It's just a combination that is comfortable, that people are used to. So I think when you're writing a song, you might look at some combinations like that that feel familiar at first, and then start branching out and trying different things. One combination that I think a lot of people know is 1-3. That's a combo that you hear in a lot of songs, and that little major to the minor, it feels like a lift, and the resolve feels very natural. So there are points of tension in music and resolve in music that I think we hear over and over and over. And even if we don't know what the notes are, what the chords are, what it is, those certain combinations, you just know them. You know, you've heard them so many times. So I would suggest maybe starting with some of those combinations that feel familiar, and then try to branch out from there. But don't make me try to count the combinations in music. It's like, count the ways that I love you, you know, millions and millions and millions.